Ordo Legionis. The most disciplined and effective military force in history, the Imperial legions preserve the peace and rule of law in the Empire. At need, the legion garrisons can be swiftly mobilized to protect against invasions or internal disorders. But in Vardenfell district of Morrowind, the local forts help to ensure law and order, providing guards to supplement the local guard units of the temple and great houses, Halalu, Veteran, and Telvanni. There are 5 legion garrisons in Vardenfell district. The 3 town garrisons, Moonmoth Legion Fort in Balmoral, Buckmoth Legion Fort in Alderun, and Fort Peligade in Peligade, are at full complement. The Hawkmoth Legion garrisoned at Castle Ebonheart is an elite honor guard unit, and also at full complement. The frontier installation, Fort Darius in Nisus Village, is currently the only understrength garrison on Vardenfell. Qualified citizens seeking enlistment in the Imperial Legion should apply to the commander of the garrison, General Darius. The Legion selects candidates, the basis of superior endurance, the soldierly virtue, and trustworthy personality, the citizen's virtue. For service in the Legion is the model for the duties of Imperial citizenship. Troopers are expected to demonstrate mastery of the long blade, the spear, and blunt weapons. Legion troops train with shield and heavy armor, and so must be skilled at blocking and moving in heavy armor. As a trooper or knight, you must master the long blade, spear, and blunt weapons. You must block whatever blows you can and take unblocked blows upon your heavy armor. Recruits must also be proficient at athletics, both to march long distances with heavy packs and to advance and maneuver, charge and retreat on the field of battle.
I've been in Morrowind for close to a week now, and I don't miss Cyrodiil one bit. Most of these Dunmer recognize I'm an outlander, but that's fine. I picked up some Imperial tricks before they tossed me in that cell, and I've been prospering now that I'm out of them. Still, I'm not sure what the Emperor wants with me, or what he thinks I can do for him. I'm headed to Balmora to make good on this deal, whatever it is.
Lives of the Saints. If you would be wise, model your lives on the lives of the saints. If you would learn valor, follow Saint Nerevar, the captain, patron of warriors and statesmen. Lord Nerevar helped to unite the barbarian Dunmer tribes into a great nation, culminating in his martyrdom when leading the Dunmer to victory against the evil Dwemer and the traitorous House Dagoth in the Battle of Red Mountain. If you would learn daring, follow Saint Veloth, the pilgrim, patron of outcasts and spiritual seekers. Saint Veloth, prophet and mystic, led the Dunmer out of the decadent home country of the Somerset Isles and into the promised land of Morrowind. Saint Veloth also taught the difference between the good and bad Daedra, and won the aid of the good Daedra for his people while teaching how to carefully negotiate with the bad Daedra. If you would learn generosity, follow Saint Realms, the barefooted, patron of pilgrims and beggars. Saint Realms gave away her shoes and dressed and appeared as a beggar to better acquaint herself with the poor. If you would learn self-respect and respect for others, follow Saint Aralor, the penitent, patron of tanners and miners. This foul criminal repented his sins and traveled a circuit of the great pilgrimages on his knees. If you would learn mercy and its fruits, follow Saint Surin, the merciful, patron of brewers, bakers, and distillers. This pure virgin of modest aspect could heal all diseases at the price of taking the disease upon herself. Tough-minded and fearless, she took on the burdens of others and bore those burdens to an honored old age. If you would learn fierce justice, follow Saint Felms the Bold, patron of butchers and fishmongers. This brave warlord slew the Nord invaders and drove them from our lands. He could neither read nor write, receiving inspiration directly from the lips of Almcivi. If you would learn pride of race and tribe, follow Saint Roris the Martyr, patron of furnishers and caravanners, Captured by Argonians just before the Arnesian War, Horus proudly refused to renounce the tribunal faith and withstood the cruel tortures of Argonian sorcerers. Vengeance and justice for the martyred St. Horus was the rallying cry of the Arnesian War. If you would learn the rule of justice, follow St. Olms, the Just, patron of chandlers and clerks, founder of the Ordinators. St. Olms conceived and articulated the fundamental principles of testing ordeal and repentance. If you would learn benevolence, follow St. Delon, the Wise, patron of potters and glassmakers. St. Delon was head of House Enderil, a skilled lawyer and author of many learned treatises on tribunal law and custom. If you would learn the love of peace, follow St. Metis, the peacemaker, patron of farmers and laborers. As a little girl, St. Metis showed healing gifts and trained as a healer. She ended a long and bloody house war, intervening on the battlefield in her white robe to heal warriors and spellcrafters without regard to faction. The troops of all houses adopted white robes as their standard and refused to shed the blood of their brethren. If you would learn reverence, follow St. Lothus, the Pious, patron of tailors and dyers, contemporary and companion of the tribunals, and the best-loved Almarula of the tribunal temple. He formulated the central rituals and principles of the new temple faith. St. Lothus is a symbolic mortal bridge between the gods and the faithful, and the archetypal priest.